you probably can't tell already, I filmed all my videos in the same day. As you know, I'm wearing the same t-shirt. But, update from the blood sugar. I am 107 and stable now. I came down from that 160. Amazingly, after drinking some water, it came down. Surprise, surprise, you guys. Hydration is a huge key with managing your blood sugar. So with that being said, let's jump into today's video. Before I delve in more to today's video, I wanted to say thank you so much for 300 subscribers. I am so blessed and so grateful for every single one of you that have tuned into my channel. It means the world to me, and it means the world to be able to interact with you guys and share my experiences, share what I learned, share my background on diabetes, and it's an amazing community to be a part of, and I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for those of you that just joined my channel, welcome. My name is Maddie. I've been living with type 1 diabetes for nearly 1 year when this video will be going up. I was diagnosed on July 22nd, 2018 with a blood sugar of over 500. I believe it was 513. And I decided to create a YouTube channel pretty much shortly after I was diagnosed, sharing my experiences about what I'm learning about diabetes, plus more about my life. I'm going into dental hygiene school. I'm actually in the middle of a summer clinic right now, which is super duper fun. I am just pursuing all my passions and hobbies, and I kind of wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope they are fun for you to watch. So with that being said, we'll get back into today's regular video. Hey everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be doing a very basic understanding of intramuscular versus subcutaneous injections and kind of what they're used for and which ones we use more often as diabetics, and a non-traditional technique I'm going to talk about, which Dr. Bernstein does talk about in his book Diabetes Solution, which I've used on accident without realizing, and I've used on purpose one time to get a high blood sugar down. So first of all, do know I'm not a medical doctor, so please don't follow my guidelines unless you talk to your doctor first, I guess. Now, I didn't really talk to mine, but I was just like, it was worth a shot. And if you're a diabetic, it's a self-managing disease, and you can't be constantly calling a doctor every day if you have problems. But I would say using this non-traditional technique does work if you're in a pinch or if you have such a dangerous high blood sugar that won't come down. And like I said, I'm not an expert on this because I haven't done it very often. But it's using intramuscular injections for high blood sugars when you're to get quicker absorption of insulin into the bloodstream. So first of all, intramuscular versus subcutaneous tissue, there's a difference. Subcutaneous tissue is the tissue that sits just below the skin. It's usually kind of fattier. It's anywhere you can pinch, and it's kind of jello-y. This is where we put our pump sites, or we give ourselves insulin injections for the most part. So subcutaneous tissue is found all over the body, but primarily in your arms, on your belly, on the outside of your thighs, at the top of your butt, and some people have them in other areas too, the upper abdomen, the side of the abdomen, by the hips. Those are the primary places to find subcutaneous tissue. And there's fattier tissues. If you're a lady, your breasts are also made of fattier tissue too. However, I've never given myself an insulin injection in the breast, and I wouldn't recommend that. I don't think that's good, but if you do it, you know what? All the more power to you. You need to do what's best for your management. Intramuscular injections are what they say. It is an injection directly in the muscle. Most of the time, when you get vaccines is when you're going to get intramuscular injections. It's going to be in the deltoid, which is going to be up in the arm. You can get them in your butt muscles, which is your gluteus muscles. You can get them in your thighs, which is your quads. Those are primarily where you're going to get intramuscular injections. And a good example for most of the part for diabetes intramuscular injections is for glucagon, because you want that glucagon to get absorbed super quickly. They recommend that you inject it in the middle of your arm or right in the middle of your thigh, because that'll go right into muscle. And muscle absorbs whatever serum you put into the bloodstream faster. It's closer to the bloodstream, therefore it's going to get into the bloodstream quicker. Whereas with subcutaneous tissue, it has to travel from the subcutaneous tissue down beneath into the vessels, into the muscle, into the bloodstream. So it's kind of a longer process. Now, you can use intramuscular injections for super high blood sugars. This is non-traditional, but you can do it. I'm going to talk about the one time I did it on accident was the time I had that dangerous low blood sugar. I gave myself when I was still on shots, or multiple daily injections, I gave myself my Lantus shot in my thigh the night before. And I knew I hit muscle because as soon as I pulled the needle out, it got super painful and it started gushing blood everywhere. And I looked where the position I had it, and it was more towards the middle of my thigh instead of the outer part. So I knew I injected in muscle, and that whole entire day I had a problem keeping my blood sugars up. They just, no matter how much I ate, they wouldn't get up. And when you inject and that is the most dangerous thing to do, is inject a long-acting insulin into a muscle, because that's going to be a 24-hour thing that you're going to have to deal with. The intramuscular injections I'm talking about for non-traditional is to give yourself an injection of Humalog in the muscle when you have such a dangerous high blood sugar. It's going to allow the insulin to absorb quicker. A lot of people do it in the deltoid, or they'll do it in the middle of the thigh. The arm would probably be a better absorption place than the thigh, but if your thighs absorb really well, good, go for it. The purpose is to get a high blood sugar down quick because it absorbs quicker. But when you do this, only use a couple of units of insulin at most, because it's going to absorb quicker, and once your blood sugar starts heading down, it's going to head down quick. So if I were you and you wanted to try an intramuscular injection, if you do your calculations with your sensitivity factor and your target blood sugar, and you need 1.5 units to correct that blood sugar from wherever you are at to get back down to your target, I would only try giving yourself a half a unit to a unit in the muscle and see what happens, because you're better off not giving the full injection and letting things kind of simmer out than doing more. And that's the way you play it safe with this non-traditional technique, but you can use intramuscular injections, and I've heard a lot of you have done this, and I've done this too. It's something, though, is a last resort, and like I said, I'm not a doctor, so please take what I'm saying and put it in your own life, because I am not liable or responsible for what you're going to do with your health. But if you want to try it, go for it. And I think there's nothing wrong with it as long as you do it in a safe manner. There's nothing wrong with being bold with insulin as long as you do it in a safe manner. There's nothing wrong with drinking as long as you do it in a safe manner. There's really nothing wrong with doing anything as long as you do it in a safe and sensible manner. And intramuscular injections are one of those things. I would point you to Dr. Bernstein's book, because I know he talks more about that in depth. But I wanted to share kind of that you can do this, and I have done this in the past, and it does work. But do not do it with long-acting insulin. I made that mistake already. That is not a good thing. You're going to be running low all day or have a hard time keeping your blood sugar up. Only use it with rapid-acting or regular human insulin, because those are shorter acting, and they're not going to stay in your bloodstream for as long. Maybe 2 hours to 3 hours at most is when they're going to be most active. It's just allowing the insulin to get in the bloodstream quicker, so you're not going to wait 15 or 20 minutes for it to really start working hard. You may only wait 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's going to be in the bloodstream working. So like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not liable for anything that happens to you, but I wanted to share this with you guys so that you know it's an option for you as a non-traditional technique, in addition to bumping and nudging, in addition to pre-bolusing. There are so many different techniques that you can use to manage your diabetes, guys, that work wonders when you use them sensibly. Now, if you're going over extreme and you're pre-bolusing 50 minutes with Humalog, then yeah, you're going to go low. But pre-bolusing 15 to 20 is safe. And obviously, if you're going to give yourself an intramuscular injection of 20 units, you're going to end up killing yourself versus giving yourself a 1-unit injection. So, like I said, there's nothing wrong with doing different things as long as you do them in a safe manner. And then I want to let you guys know that this is an option for you if you have a dangerous high blood sugar that just won't come down, or you're having ultra insulin resistance, or if you accidentally do this to yourself, that it's not going to hurt you. You just be aware that it's going to absorb faster. But be mindful, like I said, of the long acting, because it's going to give you a problem in more of a 24-hour picture. So I hope you enjoyed this very basic video of subcutaneous injections versus intramuscular injections. Again, this was another video I wanted to do. But like I said, consult your medical doctor if you're not sure about anything. But do understand that you are the one in control of your diabetes and in control of your body. And you're going to make decisions every day. that are going to make a difference. And if you have to make a decision of that sort to bring a high blood sugar down, I would say go for it, but be safe. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. I post videos every single week about diabetes plus more. And until next time for another video, take care, God bless, be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. Bye.